and it's ready to go. So, we'll do a little bit of driving. I'll throw this on the dash on the way down to Katy's, which is my favorite coffee shop. And so we'll check that out. As you can see, the song "It Never Rains in Southern California," false. Right now it's probably, it feels to me like it's about 25 degrees outside. Not Celsius, Fahrenheit. I'm cold. Arguably, I'm a wimp, and I'm okay with that. Years ago, people asked me, why did you move from Boston to San Diego? And I'm like, it's the weather. And they would laugh. But they would be like, okay, yeah, I get it. I mean, I've been to San Diego. You're right, the weather's great. Just gonna keep rolling. So there you go. Still rolling. Still rolling, ladies and gentlemen. And we're gonna go with this because I've done this before, and and don't forget, this is the SJ Cam. I do not buy the GoPros. I have the I am fully committed to the SJ Cam. Couple reasons. One, it's infinitely cheaper. Now, the ones I buy also don't have a very good lens, and so this video isn't that great. The biggest downside to the SJ Cam is the audio. The microphones in the SJ Cam suck. Now, the SJ Cam knockoffs are even worse, and so I don't know why this stopped and shut off. The display tells me that I have 2 bars left, I believe, out of 4 bars in on the battery thing. So who knows why it shut off. Although I'm excited that it shut off, because then it made noise, so I was able to know. Because other times I've like just basically been sitting here talking to the camera, and it shut off long ago. I know that the default setting of the SJ Cam is to basically record, I think, for like 5 minutes and then shut off. Or maybe it's one of those deals where it records for like 100 megs worth of data and then it stops recording. I'm not sure. But I believe what I've got it doing now is recording. I've got it set up to record until I tell it not to record. So we'll see. Anyway, so it's the SJ Cam 4000 that I use. I bought some of the knockoffs. You can get them like on eBay and Amazon and that sort of thing. Again, I think it's a great solution to the GoPro. And honestly, if nothing else, you get a great backup that you can like throw in your pocket, for God's sake. And you know, whether the lens gets scratched or not, just throw it away and then get another one. But additionally, it comes with all of the, not all of the, it comes with many attachments. Not the least of which is a waterproof, you know, the clear, hard plastic clear case that the GoPros, I think by default come with, but it's the only case they come with. and then it comes with like this thing that I've got right now, which is basically just a sort of a back holder for the camera body. And then it's also got a, let's see, like a bike mount. It's got a strap that comes with a couple pieces of Velcro, or not a strap, but it's got a holder that then straps onto like handlebars or something like that. And it's got a clear plastic case that is not waterproof, meaning like the front of it basically is the same as the last one, or is the original one. But it's got like 2 slits on the side where audio can basically go through. Now again, as I mentioned, the audio from these SJ Cams is lousy. And it also doesn't have a external mic jack. While the default setting of the GoPro isn't to have a mic jack, but it is to have a mini USB, not a micro USB, but a mini USB, which you can use for charging, and you can also use it for, like you can get a converter that goes to a 1/8 inch microphone jack. So that's pretty heavy. So you know what's weird? Here I am driving down what's called the Silver Strand, which is basically the road that goes from Coronado down to IB. And the speed limit here is 65 miles an hour. And it is literally the only place ever where I drive 65 miles an hour. I never drive over 65 miles an hour on this road. In fact, I have the autopilot. I have the deal set for 65 right now, or actually 66. And for some reason that like works for me. There's a cop behind me, and so I'm basically going to let him go by, but not that I really care about going 65 miles an hour and giving him wide berth. But it's kind of cool because it's nice. I like to sort of set the cruise control at 65 and then cruise down to wherever I'm going. The downside is that everyone around me does not use cruise control, so they go full, you know, they go 68 down to 58, and you know, it's like, oh my god. Which brings me to a discussion around self-driving cars. And I wanted to do this here because it's a stretch of road that is so ridiculously like automatic and generic that you could argue that this is exactly where you would use a self-driving car option. I got a buddy who lives up in Toronto, and what's up, Chad? And he has a Tesla, and I know that he said that he's got a self-driving option. And I don't know whether that means it's a fairly new Tesla, or whether that's like an upgrade that they came up with, or whether he's got like the top of the line model. But regardless, as of today in 2017, the discussion I had with him about 3 months ago in late 2016 was that he got in and turned on the self-driving car option, self-driving option, or whatever it's called. I'm sure there's a marketing term. The Tesla-ness of it, maybe that's what they call it. Dude, just push on the Tesla. Or maybe they call it the Nikolai. Regardless. He said, you know, so we got in it at first, and we like pushed the button, and then, you know, you're watching the car like drive itself, whatever, and I think he said he was in the car with his wife. He said he was amazed, because at first you're like, okay, this is weird, like I can't let go of the wheel. And he said within 3 days, he's like, we just got in, pushed the button, had absolute faith in it, and was like even like texting or you know, watching TV or whatever. I don't know if he said he was watching TV. Maybe, you know, watching a video on his phone. Maybe watching one of Mike Somerville's YouTube videos, whoop whoop, while he was driving, while his Tesla was driving. So it's 2017. So I would bet, I mean, there's a lot of people that, you know, pick these various divisible by 10 years as like a goal to do something significant. So along those lines, let's say by 2020, I would bet that there will be the ability in your Uber app to say, do I want a human driving or do I want a self-driving car? I don't know if it will be this scenario by then, but I bet eventually the self-driving cars will be less expensive than the human driving cars. Not because of the hourly wage difference sort of thing, i.e. robots are cheaper than humans to build cars on in certain areas of the assembly line, but because the insurance will be significantly cheaper. Because in 3, 4, who knows, maybe even 2 years, the number of accidents that occur when there is a self-driving car, I would bet would be less than the number of accidents that occur when there is a human driving a car. And so therefore, State Farm's like, yeah, dude, we'll insure this car for like $1 a day. But I bet now, if you were to like say, well, I need self-driving car insurance, they'd be like, whoa, okay, that's gonna cost you. because it's not a proven technology, and who knows where the regulations are with that, right? Like, is it legal, in fact, to drive a self-driving car on state-funded or federally funded freeways here in California? I don't know. I don't even know if anyone cares, or whether there's a human in the car, so you're responsible for it. So whether you push the self-driving button or you press the cruise control button, like I've done in here, it's irrelevant. You're responsible for it, and so therefore the insurance is the same. So anyway, so that was just something I would think about. I'm heading down here to Imperial Beach because my favorite coffee shop is down here. I've mentioned it before in a couple vlogs, but it's Katy's. K-A-T-Y''S, Katy's Cafe in Imperial Beach. Check it out while you're thinking about buying a self-driving car. I hope you're living the dream, and I hope you're safe and happy wherever you live and I hope wherever you're watching this, you're safe and happy wherever you are. And I hope you're living the dream, because if you're not living the dream, you're doing it wrong. Ciao. I hope it's still recording. Oh, look at that, it is. What up? I love successful technology. Woohoo, spring break.